The shot you just saw looks like it was filmed from a car with a cinema camera on a gimbal, but it wasn't. It was actually filmed by a mate of mine on a regular Sunday ride, hands-free, with the Pocket 4P. This is probably the best for high-quality cycling footage without turning a ride into a full production or settle for action cam looks. So I first started using this setup with the Pocket 3 in South Africa, then the Pocket 4, and I'm redefining this for half a year now to make this safe while riding, because I always wondered how to use DJI's Pocket cameras hands-free on the ride, as the gimbal is just made for it to have stable shots while riding. And I use this setup for a lot of my YouTube videos actually already. Pocket 4P just launched in Europe, so it feels like the perfect opportunity to reveal you how I use the setup and why I think the Pocket 4P is yet the smallest camera that fits all my needs I need actually to filming my life or rides. So in today's video, we're going to test it in a real world ride so you can actually see how it turns out in the footage. Let's have fun with it, but first talk about why the Pocket 4P is different. The main reason this camera is interesting is the overall package. It is how many different jobs it can do while being pocket sized, because now you actually do have two cameras. A 20mm lens for vlogging, landscapes, that makes everything feel like you saw it with your own eyes. And a 60mm lens for portraits, details, and shots where you want the subject to feel much more separate from the background. Who knows me knows that I love quality. That's why I'm so hyped about the new 1-inch sensor behind the wide lens, which is the one I'm going to use the most. It has up to 17 stops of dynamic range on a new D-Log 2. It's always a bit sus to me when I hear numbers like that, but then on my first ride I took it out at sunset and filmed against the sun.
Thinking you can win, you must got amnesia. Who wanna step to King Kong? We about to get it on from dusk till the dawn.
The biggest question that I always wanted to figure out is how to use this safely while riding. As I knew when I figured that gimbal plus a sensor makes an image that's hard to top. So let me show you how I actually set this up. It's surprisingly simple. You just need to switch some minor twists inside and outside. So I'm using the battery adapter because below there is a regular screw mount, which I use with the basic action cam 1 to 1/3 screw mount. And then add this to my DJI mouth mount. I know people do use the camera and tried that on helmets and other stuff, but I love the flexibility to put this camera away and then keep on riding regularly. And I also want the camera roughly to level my eyes, because that's how I saw it and that's how I want to remember it, that's how I want to document it, make it look like it felt. How to set up the camera itself. I film mostly in 4K 24 frames per second at 1 to 150 shutter speed, which creates natural motion blur, especially on the bike riding fast due to the 180-degree shutter rule. Just like here, it creates motion blur that looks just exactly how you see it with your own eyes. So your shutter speed should always be double your frame rate. On action cams, this is not working, but on the Pocket, it is working as the camera is stabilized itself due to this 3-axis gimbal. I mostly use a 1x lens, which is the one supporting D-Log 2, and I try to aim ISO 100 for the best quality. That means when you shoot outside in sunlight, you need an ND filter. I do really appreciate that the new ND filters are not just magnetically, but also a bit like screwed on, because I lost a few with those old versions on the Pocket. And now the most important change in camera. For the gimbal mode, I do use the second one, which keeps a horizontal balance. So the camera is always in line with the horizon. And this is the biggest difference when it comes to filming while riding compared to when you, I don't know, shoot handheld, because then I use the FPV mode where the gimbal follows my camera. Now that we set up the camera, we can actually finally go on a ride together.
And probably some of you will ask, like, isn't it a bit too much of effort to take a bigger cam than may be necessary for a bike ride? For me, it was always the most fun to get the best quality sweet spot while still, enjoying the ride and not strapping a camera around me. And I feel like this setup is it for me, because I do enjoy the amazing footage we will create today, the depth of field you have. This setup is for rides like today, where you meet up with mates. I wouldn't necessarily take this out on a race. Today's menu is a 100k, 110k ride, the nearest climbs, so really just a sunny day out. Like the memories I create with this setup, the quality, spectacular. it's yet again a windy day. So having my DJI Mic 3 below the jersey, right here, otherwise you would never hear me.
I'm talking about something they can't capture on a camera.
One of the things that do amaze me the most is how well the Pocket 4P performs in backlight situations. Let me show you.
I'm talking about your life, babe. Your character. You're driving and they cut you off. A stranger spills your coffee cup and it's hard, babe. Tell me what's your heart say? Maybe we got it all wrong. It ain't about what you like, yeah, it's about what you're made of. It ain't about all the new hype, yeah, it's about hype.
The best thing about taking this camera with you on a ride is that I do think that cycling vlog, of course the cycling part is important, but sometimes there are stories you want to tell around the actual ride, which is for example us stopping here at the local climb to do like a cake break, and then it's just top tier to have such a good camera in your pocket.
I'm talking about your character. I'm talking about your character. I'm talking about your character. I'm talking about your character.
The reason we stopped here is because they have legendary, in Germany we call it Windbeutel. It's like a cake with ice, puffy cake with ice, but look, it's like so over the top. It's like like
Do something for the ladies.
And it would just... One of the advantages as well is when I'm out, I think this camera is capable of stopping the ride and then actually do like a serious shot you would usually do on a cinema camera. I haven't tried it, so let's try it. I'm going to do like a... I'm actually going to try one with the 3x zoom. So I set up the camera in the gimbal mode FPV, so the camera is always where I do aim the display at. I can show you something else. The follow mode is like really strong. Even objects like my bike, it can easily, like I just double tap and then it tracks the bike. It's so easy because I can walk and it stays locked onto the bike.
I'm on my own, I blame myself, I'm too far gone, can't save myself. Now she's moved on, somebody else, not sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm on my own, I blame myself, I'm too far gone, can't save myself. Now she's moved on, somebody else, not sorry, I'm not sorry. So it's harder, you always decide. I feel like I'm surprised if you're gone by tomorrow. Can't decide if you're right all the time. Pay the price, roll the dice, and I feel like I'm hollow. You can't cry on my shoulder, and now that it's
So my favorite angle when I'm filming someone else handheld is like a bit downwards. We're climbing now, okay? It's a bit downwards angle from here. I think that's like an angle where you can see the speed. I mean, we're climbing now, but usually where the Pocket like outperforms anything else you could have handheld on the bike.
now that it's over, now that it's over. Got your weight on my shoulders, now that it's over, now that it's over. With all these false alarms, safe out of reach. Thought of moving on reminds me that I know I'm hot and cold like I'm bipolar. And she said I'm like Carolina weather in October, I promise.
So the only thing I do put in my pocket is a little tripod to switch out with a mouse mount when you want to have a static shot. I do these rarely, but it's very convenient if you want to vlog in between and you're on your own, you want to place a camera somewhere, you just switch it that quick. And I want to actually recreate a shot we did with a cinema crew in Granada in Sierra Nevada, where we went like super slow-mo close to the camera. So I'm going to place the camera down there and then we're all three going to ride past it and I'm going to super slow-mo it. Let's see if this works out. Reicht schon. Dann mach ich mir jetzt mal
I do my best by keeping my composure. I just have to pretend that I don't want any closure. I'm on my own, I blame myself. I'm too far gone, can't save myself. Now she's moved on, somebody else. Not sorry, I'm not sorry.
So I spent most of today using the Pocket 4P in a fairly ridiculous and special scenario, but that's maybe not even why it makes sense as an everyday camera. The cycling setup is more real proof that it can handle something difficult. I think the reason to actually own it and carry it is for all much simpler moments and the pure quality. I'm sure I can even replace this talking head shot by handhelding this camera, and it would be good enough to actually just use that one. So a small camera needs to be good enough that I'm not constantly wishing that I brought something else.
Glass doesn't break, my voice doesn't shake. We're talking cause we want that. I swallow my pride, you acknowledge your side. We're not acting out our traumas. Oh, I know it's weird, but I'm jealous of us.
Alright, let's proceed to a very important part, which is color grading. Because when you actually record in D-Log 2, it means you have to do the post-production. You don't have to film in log, you can even just use the film tones, use it straight off the camera, but if you really want to get to 17 stops of dynamic range and the most information in the image, you need to shoot in D-Log 2. I'm going to show you my color grading process with this camera in DaVinci Resolve and then also in the app. I do like that the Pocket 4P has internal storage. The Pocket 3 didn't have it. Now you don't need SD cards anymore. We will use a clip that we haven't used in the video yet. I find this clip very interesting as I did fuck it up a bit. So it's a clip of Adrian riding in sunset. For the part we are going to look at, I'm filming straight into the sunlight again. So what I usually do is I do use DJI's official DJI conversion lot from DJI Log 2 to Rec 709. Then to give it a bit of a filmic look is I do use a film look creator, and then I have a node for white balance if needed. And what you can see is that I fairly overexposed this shot, but now comes the crazy part. It looks unusable, but due to the 17 stops of dynamic range, you can bring this down to a usable footage. So we bring it down like 2 stops, 2 1/4, and it still recovers the colors just accurate. You can see the sky now. You can do it even a bit more and lift the shadows later. But let's keep it easy and fairly simple. I just want to show you how quick you can get to, oh, look at it. The sun flares. It's straight into sunset and you can see Adrian just nicely, but still have highlights in the sky. If you don't want to use DaVinci or any other color grading software, you can also use the DJI Mimo app, color grade or export, and then directly upload the footage. So who is this camera for? I think it makes sense for people who care about image quality, but you don't want to become everyday life full production. So this can be vloggers, travel creators, parents. I found myself filming way more since I have it. You don't need to take various lenses, a big camera, you just take it with you. It's really the camera where I would say if you don't have one, it's the one that comes close to fitting all your needs. That's it for today. If you do have any specific questions to the camera, to my settings, leave a comment and I'll try to cover that in future videos. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one and take care.